Welcome to Potion Sword Run. It's good to see you. You're looking beautiful today. Turned out that Xbox rumor of it being dead was over exaggerated, according to Xbox. They came out with an official statement saying that they're going to be making a dedicated Xbox system next generation. Still. But I gotta ask myself, does it really matter? Is it too late? For considering all that they've done, do you really want to put the rest of your library into the next gen console, given how fickle Microsoft is with Xbox? Given what they've done this generation to it, pretty much making Xbox a console that's, has a shelf life, that's dying. Now, I don't see Microsoft leaving the gaming scene anytime soon, especially with their huge investment in all these game studios. So what Xbox is trying to do is put their games everywhere. Try to get as much money as they can in return for their investment. They're going to try to nickel and dime those whales who are still on Game Pass and who are using Xbox as their dedicated system by raising the prices of the games to $80, raising the prices of Game Pass to whatever they want, whenever they want, and also including the new cloud service as an extra, but yet charging you money for that too in different tiers depending on the speed that you want. It's like cable all over again, or internet back in the day when they had different speeds of internet. It's like just high speed, man, the best you can, give people. But no, Xbox isn't about that. They're about nickel and diming. Okay, so they're not gonna, get out of the gaming system. They're not gonna get out of the whole gaming scene, with the Xbox. They're gonna come out with the next one. But given all this backlash, even from an Xbox fan, is it smart to do that? I mean, they already have partnerships with AMD, yeah, but they can use those chips for other things. I mean, they can come out with a third-party Xbox like they've been doing with pretty much everything else and use those chips for that. So if they really wanted to, break their contract and pay whatever kind of fee they really wanted to, they could. And in the end, they'll probably end up saving money. Because I don't see people flocking to the next Xbox console given how they treated the last two consoles. Given how they treated the customers, the loyal customers, by just nickel and diming them and trying to make them whales. And the sad thing is, when it comes to the games, I've been noticing now that I'm not playing their first-party games on Gamepass. There's a lot of Xbox first-party games that you cannot buy outright. You have to buy them digitally. They didn't press any physically. Now, I remember hearing Alan Wake 2 not being pressed. And I thought that was weird as hell, given Alan Wake 2 is like going to be a certified hit. Especially a cult hit classic with the first one. So people would want an actual printed copy on the Xbox. They have them on PlayStation 5, but not on Xbox. Only digitally. It's like, what kind of shit is that? So, I mean, I have it digitally on Xbox because I used to buy my games digitally on Xbox. I didn't mind. But now that I'm not going to be using Game Pass digitally, with the Xbox digitally through Game Pass and just everything else, I want to start collecting physically now, just because of all the shit they've been doing. And I can't collect Alan Wake physically on Xbox. But that's not all. South of Midnight, I wanted to have physically because it's like a game that's, I don't know, it's like a boutique game, it's like made so beautifully. The graphics, the art style, everything just seemed like a whole little cohesive package, like a creative vision that came through. And I wanted to have a physical copy of it because the physical copy in itself seems like art, So I wanted to just have it for as long as I want it. And I can't do that because they only made it digitally and on Game Pass. They didn't make any copies, any physical copies. They didn't press any. And the thing is, I understand these games aren't going to sell gangbusters, South of Midnight specifically, but at least print a limited edition amount. I mean, when Nintendo did that All-Star bundle with the 3 games and people were still complaining it was limited edition, at least they made a limited edition and they let everybody know, hey, limited edition. So go ahead and buy it if you want it. But Xbox isn't even doing that with their games, which is disrespectful to their studio, to say the least. Not giving them ample opportunity to sell as many copies as they can. So why would I want to support a company like that that doesn't really support their studios? That doesn't really provide the games that I want when I want them physically, or any way that I want them. But no, if we're gonna continue to support Microsoft, we got to be stuck in their ecosystem, which is gonna be digital and a cloud and Game Pass only. Then that is the only reason why they're, well, besides being greedy, raising their prices to $80 so they can funnel you into these digital services. So it doesn't really matter that the next Xbox isn't dead and that Microsoft came out to clear the record. Because if a rumor this big can spread so far and wide and be that believable, then it says something about the Xbox brand and the way they're running it that gives everybody out there, especially gamers, especially Xbox fans, no faith in the future of Xbox. And given how they're treating their games and their game studios, it's just further proof that now is the time to step away. So if you have an Xbox now like I do, enjoy it for this generation. If you still enjoy Game Pass, play the shit out of those games as much as you can. Because the writing is on the wall. They're going to nickel and dime you next generation for sure. They're going to try it as much as they can this generation. But when next generation comes in and those people jump in, they know they got you by the balls. And they're going to squeeze as hard as they can until you fill them up with all your money. Man. So, right now I'm going through my Game Pass, collection and looking at all the first party games from Xbox that I really wanted to play and I want to own. And it seems like there's going to be some that I can't. And it really, really sucks. But the good news is that a lot of these games are coming out on PlayStation. And if I want them, I can get them physically on PlayStation. The only problem is I have to wait double time. Because right now the games are being, they're a lot more cheaper on Xbox because they've been out for a while. They've been on sale. But when they come out on PlayStation, they're brand new and they put them full price. So I'm going to have to wait, But that's okay because I played most of these games already on Xbox and on Game Pass. I didn't complete a lot of them, but that's kind of what I want to do. Actually take my time now that I have the time. And my time isn't divided by all these different games all the time by Game Pass, trying to keep up, trying to get my money's worth. So yeah, that's my next step. Trying to build my library elsewhere because obviously it seems that Xbox isn't trying to make their platform enticing when it comes to physical games, especially when it comes to their first party games. And I hear maybe Doom, the last one, Middle Ages, whatever it's called, also didn't have a physical release, if I'm not mistaken, but it could be. But I wouldn't put it past Microsoft in the way they've been doing things this generation. Anyways, to reiterate, supposedly Xbox will be coming out with the next Xbox built by Xbox, not from a third-party publisher. So we'll wait and see how that comes out. But given their track record, I'm sure it's going to be expensive as hell. So it looks like this is it. They don't care about their games enough to print them on physical, and it looks like they don't care about their customers. Anyways, I'm going to leave it right there. I'll catch you on the next one. Remember, always be kind to yourself and enjoy your life. And I'll meet you right there. Peace.